In today's world of instant gratification, it's easy to forget that true success takes time. Think about it. How often do we check our phones, expecting an immediate response? Or scroll through social media, seeing others' successes as if they happened overnight? It's all around us, the idea that things should happen quickly. But what if I told you that the key to achieving your biggest goals isn't rushing, but trusting the process, even when progress feels slow? Hello and welcome to Empowered Journey. I'm so glad you're here today as we dive into a topic that's vital for long-term success: patience. In a world that's constantly pushing us for more, faster, and bigger, it can be hard to slow down and trust that the work we're putting in today will pay off tomorrow. But let me tell you something, it will. It always does. Today, we're going to explore how patience is actually one of your greatest superpowers. Let me take you back to when I first started my business. I remember those early days all too well. The results weren't coming as quickly as I'd hoped, and there were plenty of times I wondered if I was on the right path. I would look around and see others seemingly moving faster, achieving more, and it was easy to feel like I was falling behind. But as I look back now, I realize something crucial. Those slow and steady efforts I put in during that time laid the foundation for where I am today. It wasn't instant success. It was a series of small steps, a lot of learning, and yes, plenty of patience. This podcast is here to inspire and motivate you. It's about helping you stay grounded, take consistent steps toward your goals, and remind you that even when progress feels slow, you're moving forward. No matter how small the steps, they are still steps in the right direction. And I promise you, every single one of them matters. So let's dive into today's conversation. How to make patience work for you and how trusting the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening, is what will get you to your goals. It's not about rushing. It's about believing that every step you're taking is getting you closer to where you need to be. Today's theme is all about patience, the ability to trust the process, even when results don't come immediately. We've all heard the phrase, trust the journey, but what does that really mean? How do we stay true to this idea when progress feels like it's moving at a snail's pace? Or worse, when it feels like we're not making any progress at all? Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about believing that every step, no matter how small, is taking you in the right direction. It's so easy to get discouraged when things aren't happening fast enough, especially when we look around and see others moving forward with what seems like little effort. But here's the truth. True success doesn't happen overnight. It's built over time, through consistent effort, learning from setbacks, and growing stronger with each challenge. Think about a seed being planted. You don't see the roots growing immediately, do you? In fact, you might think nothing is happening at all. But underneath the soil, there's a lot going on. The seed is slowly and steadily establishing roots that will eventually push through the surface, creating something beautiful. If you rushed that process, the plant wouldn't be strong enough to thrive. Similarly, our personal and professional growth often takes time. We might not see immediate results, and that can be frustrating. But every step you take, no matter how small, adds to your foundation. Those small wins, they matter. They build momentum. The key is to keep going, even when you can't see the finish line yet. It's natural to feel impatient, but here's where patience becomes a superpower. When we can embrace the slow and steady process, we unlock the power to stay grounded. And in that space, we make better decisions, build stronger habits, and ultimately create lasting success. So today, let's explore how we can truly trust the process and use patience as our guide to achieving our goals, no matter how long it may take. The journey may be slow, but every step forward is a step closer to the success you're working toward. Patience is more than just a virtue. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. In a world where everything is immediate, instant messages, instant food delivery, and even instant results from social media, it's easy to forget that not everything worth having happens right away. In fact, some of the best things in life require time, effort, and most importantly, patience. When we talk about trusting the process, it's about embracing the idea that progress isn't always linear. There are days when things will feel stagnant, when you might question whether your efforts are even making a difference. But the truth is, even on those quiet, seemingly unproductive days, you're still moving forward. You're building resilience, learning from challenges, and gaining experience that will pay off in the long run. Consider the growth of a tree. In the early stages, it doesn't seem to grow much above the soil, but underneath, the roots are expanding, anchoring the tree and allowing it to stand tall in the future. If you were to dig up the tree to see its roots, you might mistake it for a failure because there's no visible growth. But without that foundation, the tree wouldn't survive the winds and storms that are sure to come. In the same way, your own roots, the small steps, the consistent efforts, the failures and lessons, are what lay the foundation for long-term success. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to feel behind when we look at others' achievements. Social media has a way of distorting our perception, making it look like everyone is moving ahead faster than us. But remember, success is not a race, it's a personal journey. The journey might feel slow, but that's because it's building something solid. Rushing through it may give you temporary results, but it's the slow, patient progress that leads to lasting, meaningful change. Patience isn't passive, it's an active choice to believe in the process. It means trusting that the work you're doing now, even if it doesn't bring immediate rewards, is setting you up for something far greater down the road. It's about having the courage to keep showing up every day, even when the road feels long. And when you begin to embrace that slow process, you'll find that the reward is not just in the destination, but in who you become on the journey. So as you continue on your path, remember that patience is power. Your success doesn't depend on how fast you move, but on how steadily you continue moving forward, trusting that every step brings you closer to your ultimate goal. I still remember the early days of my career like it was yesterday, full of dreams, energy, and an overwhelming desire to prove myself. I was ready to take on the world, ready for success to come rushing in. I had just started working on a project that I truly believed in, pouring hours upon hours into it. Late nights, early mornings, weekends filled with nothing but effort. I thought I was doing everything right. I kept telling myself, if I work hard enough, success will come quickly. But it didn't. Weeks turned into months, and the results were underwhelming. I had expected big wins, big breakthroughs, but instead, I was greeted with silence. A small win here, a glimmer of hope there, but nothing that matched the energy and effort I was putting in. I couldn't help but feel frustrated and honestly a little defeated. It felt like everyone around me was moving ahead, getting promotions, launching projects, and achieving things I thought I'd be accomplishing by now. And there was one particular night that still sticks with me. I was sitting at my desk, staring at my computer screen, and I felt completely drained. I remember asking myself, why am I even doing this? Why does it feel like I'm stuck while everyone else is sprinting forward? That comparison trap is real, and it's cruel. It made me question my abilities, my purpose, and even whether I was on the right path at all. I thought about giving up more times than I'd like to admit, but something inside me whispered, keep going. Maybe it was stubbornness, or maybe it was hope, but I decided that instead of focusing on the lack of big results, I would focus on the small steps I could take every day. I told myself, if I can't see progress right now, I'm going to trust that it's happening in ways I can't yet see. I committed to showing up every single day, writing down small goals, taking small actions, and focusing on consistency rather than speed. And here's the twist. Months later, something started to shift. I remember getting my first real breakthrough. An opportunity I had worked so long for finally came through. And when it happened, it felt like it came out of nowhere, but the truth is, it was built on the foundation of all those small steps I'd taken when it felt like nothing was working. What I didn't realize at the time was that every bit of effort I had put in, every night I spent learning, every small project I completed, every task I did without immediate reward, was quietly adding up. Like a seed growing underground, the roots were spreading. I just couldn't see it yet, but when the results finally started to show, they came with momentum, and that momentum carried me forward faster than I could have imagined. Looking back, I realize how important those slow, invisible stages of growth really were. If I had given up during those frustrating moments when nothing seemed to move, I would have missed out on everything that came after. The lesson I learned is that success isn't always loud or obvious at first. It's built quietly, steadily, one step at a time. Patience is what kept me going. Patience is what allowed me to trust the process, even when I couldn't see immediate results. It taught me that growth takes time, and just because you don't see something happening doesn't mean progress isn't being made. If you're listening to this and you feel like you're in a season where nothing is moving, where your hard work isn't paying off the way you hoped, I want to tell you this: you are not stuck. Those small steps you're taking, those little efforts that feel insignificant, they matter. Every day you show up, you're laying bricks for something bigger. You may not see the full picture yet, but it's being built one piece at a time. And when the results finally come, you'll realize that the process itself was worth it. The struggle, the waiting, the moments of doubt, they shaped you. They taught you resilience. They prepared you for the opportunities that are ahead. So don't rush. Don't give up just because it feels slow. Trust that your efforts, no matter how small they may seem, are adding up to something meaningful. Because when patience pays off, the reward isn't just in the results. The reward is also in the strength, wisdom, and growth you gain along the way. Stay consistent, trust the process, and keep going. Even when it feels slow, the results you're working for are coming. Believe that, because I promise you, they are. I want to take a moment and talk to you, directly, calmly, and with patience. Because I know where you are right now. Maybe you're feeling stuck, frustrated, or discouraged because the progress you're hoping for just isn't happening fast enough. Or perhaps you've been working hard, putting in effort day after day, and you're starting to wonder if it's all worth it. If that's where you are, I want you to know this: you're not alone. In fact, you're right on track. Now let's walk through some actionable steps that you can begin right now in your own unique journey to help you stay grounded, focused, and calm as you move toward your goals. These tips are simple yet powerful, and I truly believe that when you embrace them, they will help you trust the process and stay patient along the way. It's easy to become fixated on the big picture, the finish line, the end result, the dream you've been chasing. But here's the thing: success isn't a single moment. It's made up of small victories, the little steps forward that we sometimes overlook. Every time you complete a task, learn something new, or even make it through a tough day with determination, that's a win. When you celebrate these small victories, you are reinforcing your progress and telling yourself, I'm moving forward and that matters. These moments, though they may seem small in isolation, are the building blocks of something much bigger. So take a moment today to celebrate something small you've accomplished. Maybe it's something as simple as completing a task you've been avoiding, making time for a healthy habit, or reaching a personal goal no matter how small. Celebrate it. Acknowledge your hard work, because every small win is a step toward the bigger picture. The journey toward your goals can feel long, and sometimes it feels like you're not moving at all. This is when it's essential to shift your focus. Instead of only focusing on the end result, shift your attention to the process. Focus on the lessons you're learning along the way, the skills you're building, and the growth you're experiencing as you move forward. Ask yourself, what can I learn today? How can I improve in this moment? These reflections can transform slow moments into powerful experiences. You see, the process itself is as important as the outcome. It's where the real growth happens. By focusing on the present moment, on each task, each step, you'll not only feel more fulfilled, but you'll also keep your motivation high. Progress may seem slow at times, but it's the patience to focus on the process that will keep you moving forward when the end goal feels distant. Trust the timing. This one might be hard to accept sometimes, especially when it feels like you're not seeing quick results. But it's true. Everything has its own pace. Just because you aren't seeing immediate results doesn't mean you aren't making progress. Every effort, every small step you take is part of a larger plan. Some of the best things in life take time. Think of a tree. It takes years to grow tall and strong, but it's the steady, gradual growth that builds resilience and depth. It's the same with your goals. What you're building now, even though it might not seem like it, is laying the foundation for something that will be solid and sustainable. Trust that your timing is perfect. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be, and that the results will come, even if they're not here just yet. When you can release the urgency and trust the pace of your journey, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and allow room for growth. Consistency is everything. It might not seem glamorous, and at times it may feel exhausting, but it's the most powerful tool you have in achieving your goals. Keep showing up, even when the results aren't immediate. Keep putting in the work, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Think of consistency as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The more you show up, whether it's for a workout, a project, or a personal goal, the more likely you are to achieve the mastery you're striving for. Success doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens through consistent effort, small choices made every single day that add up over time. Don't measure your progress by the immediate outcomes. Instead, measure it by the fact that you're continuing to move forward every single day. Every time you show up, you're building the momentum that will eventually lead to the results you're looking for. Finally, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in the hustle for success: self-compassion. It's so easy to be hard on ourselves when things aren't moving quickly or when we feel like we're not doing enough. But here's the truth: progress isn't always linear. You might take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that's okay. When you're going through slow periods, be kind to yourself. Understand that every journey has its ups and downs, and the fact that you're showing up every day is already a huge achievement. Give yourself permission to have off days, to not always feel motivated, and to rest when needed. Taking care of your mental and emotional health is just as important as the hard work you're putting in. Be kind to yourself. Be patient. You are doing the best you can, and that's enough. Trust in the process, trust in your pace, and trust that you're growing and learning along the way. You've got this. In conclusion, I want you to remember this: you are exactly where you need to be. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Every day that you keep showing up, even when results are slow, is one day closer to your goal. Embrace the small wins, stay consistent, be kind to yourself, and trust the timing of your journey. Patience is not a passive thing. It's an active choice, a choice to trust the process and keep moving forward. You are capable, and your journey matters, every step of the way. I know how you feel. It's tough when the results you're working so hard for seem to take forever to show up. There's that nagging feeling of doubt that creeps in, wondering if all the effort is worth it or if you're even on the right path. I've been there too. It can feel like you're pushing against a wall, and no matter how hard you try, things just aren't moving the way you want. But here's something I want you to really hear. You are not alone in this journey. Everyone, and I mean everyone, goes through periods of frustration, uncertainty, and slow progress. Whether you're building a career, working toward a personal goal, or simply trying to improve yourself, the struggle is real for everyone. But the difference between those who give up and those who succeed is simply this: patience and persistence. Yes, it can feel incredibly slow at times, and yes, it's easy to want to see immediate results. But remember, patience is your ally in this process. Progress may be slow, but it's still progress. Every small step you take, every effort you make, is moving you closer to your goal, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. There's no magic shortcut to success, and there's no formula that will instantly make everything fall into place. What gets you through these slow periods is knowing that you're on the right track, even when it doesn't feel that way. It's the quiet, persistent efforts that add up to something bigger than you can imagine. And I promise you, with time, it will all make sense. So, if you're feeling frustrated, it's okay. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is part of the process. It's not about being perfect or doing everything all at once. It's about showing up day after day and trusting that what you're doing now is laying the groundwork for something meaningful in the future. You've got this, and I'm here walking this path with you, cheering you on every step of the way. Keep going, because the results will come, and when they do, you'll realize how far you've truly come. Stay patient, stay consistent, And remember, you're not alone. Let's take a moment to shift our mindset today. I want you to really hear this. Slow progress is not a setback. It's a part of the process, the necessary steps that are building something strong, something lasting. The journey you're on right now, even though it might feel slow, is laying the foundation for the success that's ahead. Everything you're doing right now, every step you take, no matter how small, is building towards something incredible. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't move as quickly as we'd like. We live in a time where we're used to instant results. One click, one swipe, and we get what we want. But the truth is, real success takes time. It's in the small, consistent efforts we make every single day that we start to see the results we truly desire. Let's start by changing how we look at progress. Instead of seeing slow progress as a problem, let's view it as a sign of growth. Think of it like planting a tree. When you first plant the seed, it doesn't shoot up to the sky overnight. It takes time to grow roots, to stretch its branches. But every single day, that tree is growing, even if you don't see it. The growth is happening beneath the surface, and in time, you'll start to see the results. You may not see the fruits of your labor immediately, but rest assured, they're coming. Every hour you put in, every effort you make is adding up to something significant. Even if progress feels slow, trust that you're moving in the right direction. Success is built in the small moments of consistency that you may not even notice at first. Over time, they add up to something solid, something powerful. Now I want you to say this with me. I trust the journey. Even when the road feels long, I am patient, and I know my efforts will bear fruit. Say it again and let it sink in. I trust the journey, even when the road feels long. I am patient, and I know my efforts will bear fruit. When you repeat this affirmation, you're not just saying words, you're reprogramming your mindset. You're reminding yourself that you're not failing, you're progressing. You're not stuck, you're building. Patience is power. It's a quiet strength that you cultivate as you trust in the process and stay consistent, no matter how slow things may seem. Think about it for a moment. Every time you've achieved something meaningful in your life, it didn't happen overnight. Whether it was learning a new skill, building a relationship, or growing your career, it took time. And even when it felt challenging, you trusted the process. You knew that every effort, no matter how small, was pushing you forward. Now apply that same patience to your current journey. Understand that what you're working on right now is building the future you want. Even if the results don't show up immediately, trust that every day you're getting closer. Patience isn't about waiting idly. It's about showing up consistently, doing the work, and believing that the results will come in time. I know that when you embrace patience, you give yourself the freedom to take your time without pressure. You're giving yourself permission to grow, learn, and evolve. You're trusting that with each step, you're creating a stronger foundation for success. And that's what this journey is all about, building something lasting. You're not just working toward a goal, you're building the kind of person who achieves that goal. Remember, success is not just about reaching the finish line. It's about who you become along the way. It's about learning patience, trusting yourself, and embracing the process. Every challenge you face is part of that journey, helping you grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the success that is waiting for you. So let's shift that mindset today. Instead of seeing slow progress as something that's holding you back, see it as part of your growth story. Trust in the timing of your journey. Trust that the work you're putting in today will come together tomorrow. Be patient and know that you are exactly where you need to be. You are building something extraordinary, even if it feels slow right now. And above all, know this: you've got this. The road might be long, but every step you take is bringing you closer to your success. Patience is power, and your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Stay consistent, stay patient, and trust that everything you're doing today will bear fruit in the future. Let's take a moment now to ground ourselves and connect with the idea of patience and trust in the process. I want to guide you through a simple yet powerful exercise that will help you reflect on your journey and release any frustrations you might be feeling. First, let's begin with a journaling prompt. Think about a time in your life when things were moving slowly. It could be a period when you were working hard, but the results didn't show up as quickly as you expected. How did you keep going during that time? What did you learn from that experience? Write about it. This is not just about recalling a difficult period, but understanding how you grew through it. Those slow moments were crucial for your development, and you may have gained wisdom that you can apply to your current journey. As you write, give yourself permission to see the value in those moments of patience. Now, let's move into a breathing exercise to help you release any impatience or frustration you may be carrying. Take a deep breath in. Slowly count to 4. Hold it for a moment. And now, gently exhale for 4. Let the air leave your body slowly, and as you do, imagine releasing any sense of urgency or tension. Let go of the need for immediate results and give yourself permission to trust that everything will unfold in its own time. Let's do that a few more times. Breathe in, hold for a moment, and exhale slowly. Breathe in, hold, and release. With each exhale, let go of the pressure. Feel yourself becoming more grounded in the present moment, trusting that you're exactly where you need to be. Finally, let's take a moment to visualize your long-term goal. Close your eyes if you can, and picture yourself at the finish line of your goal. See yourself standing there, proud of what you've accomplished. But also, picture the journey it took to get there. See the small steps, the consistent efforts, and the patience it took. Visualize every challenge you faced and how you pushed through it. Feel the sense of accomplishment, knowing that those small, steady steps, every moment of patience, were the foundation of your success. The process itself is just as important as the result. Appreciate the journey, the growth, the perseverance that made you who you are today. Now bring that feeling of patience and confidence with you. Trust that with each step you take, no matter how small, you are moving closer to your goal. Today, I want to give you a challenge. I know that sometimes the road ahead feels long and the progress can feel too slow. But here's the truth. Every small step matters. You don't need to see big results today to know that you're moving in the right direction. So I challenge you to take one small step toward your goal, no matter how minor it might seem. This step could be anything. Maybe it's sending that email you've been putting off or making a small change in your routine that aligns with your bigger vision. It might even be something as simple as writing down your goal or organizing your thoughts on how to get there. The important thing is that you take action. Even if it feels small or insignificant, celebrate it. Acknowledge that you are moving forward and remind yourself that each step you take is progress. This is the process, and every effort, no matter how tiny, is a victory. Slow progress is still progress, and it adds up over time. You don't need immediate results to know you're on the right track. The key is consistency, not speed. The most important thing today is to take that first step. It's about proving to yourself that you can move forward. Even when the journey feels slow, it's about building momentum piece by piece. So take a deep breath and make that move today. You are not alone in this. Many successful people have walked this path, feeling uncertain, facing slow progress, but staying committed to their goal. They didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They took action, even when they couldn't see the immediate payoff. And that's exactly what you're going to do now. I believe in your ability to take that step and stay committed. Your small actions will lead to big results. Trust the process and take one small step today. It's not about the speed. It's about keeping your eyes on the goal and moving forward, no matter how small those steps might seem. I'd love to hear from you. How are you embracing patience in your own journey? What small steps are you taking today to stay on track? Feel free to share your thoughts, challenges, or questions with me on social media or via email. I'm here to support you, and I believe that by sharing our experiences, we can inspire each other. Let's continue to walk this path together, learning and growing every day. Your story might just be the encouragement someone else needs. Let's keep the conversation going and support each other in this process. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways from our conversation. The journey toward success is never a straight line. We often want results immediately, but what we need to understand is that patience is not about waiting around for something to happen. It's about trusting the process and consistently showing up every day, even when things don't seem to be moving as fast as we'd like. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's built on the small, daily steps that we take. And while it might be difficult to see immediate results, remember that every effort you make today is laying the foundation for the future you want to create. The most important thing is to stay consistent, even when the path feels slow. Each day you put in the work, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, is one step closer to your goal. Think about this for a moment. Success is not an event, but a process. And in that process, patience plays a vital role. It helps us stay grounded when the road gets tough and gives us the clarity to keep moving forward. Without patience, we risk rushing through the important stages of growth and learning, and that's when we miss the valuable lessons the journey has to offer. So trust the timing of your life, and trust that the work you're putting in will bear fruit, even if it doesn't show up right away. As we reflect on this idea, let me remind you of a powerful message from the great philosopher Lao Tzu. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Every single step you take, no matter how small, is a vital part of the bigger picture. It might seem like you're not getting anywhere, but in reality, each step is leading you towards something greater than you can see right now. The process is just as important as the destination. Think about a time in your life when things weren't moving as quickly as you wanted. Maybe it was a project you started, a goal you set, or even a personal journey you were on. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But when you look back, you can often see how far you've come. The small steps you took, the patience you practiced, and the persistence you showed made a bigger difference than you might have realized at the time. So, I challenge you today to embrace patience in your own life. Trust that the progress you're making, no matter how small, is important. Your journey might not look like someone else's, and that's okay. Your timing is your own. Celebrate the small wins, stay consistent, and trust that each step you take is bringing you closer to your destination. Remember, success doesn't happen in a day, and progress isn't always linear. But with patience, you will see the results of your efforts. Keep going, keep trusting, and believe that every small step is building the future you've dreamed of. In summary, patience is a vital part of the process. It's not about waiting, but about trusting, staying consistent, and having faith in the journey. As you go through this process, remember that every step you take, no matter how small, is getting you closer to where you want to be. Trust yourself, trust the process, and most importantly, trust the timing of your life. As Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Keep moving forward, and know that your steps are leading you exactly where you need to go. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this episode has inspired you to embrace patience and trust the process. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and leave a review. Your support helps us continue to share these important messages.